Okay, in the first two parts, we've really just been setting up the problem and bringing in our core data. So first of all, we figured out what our logic, we think we've got our logic. Brought in both data files that we need. We needed the sales file and the purchase invoice file. And then we figured out which date we wanted to use and converted that date to what we ultimately wanted to be, which is a date. The next step was trying to convert or bring in a new variable that will allow us to create a is to basically convert each file or each date into a week, right? Or at least create a new variable for week. And so that's what we're going to do here. So let's get ourselves some room. We're going to take each file, both the sales date and the invoice date, and we're going to create the week, right? And this is the reason why we needed import date time, right? So this is what we're going to do. Okay, and I think we got, okay, so we're going to create a new variable called df week, or just week, right? We're going to create it in the data frame. This is the sales data frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to take df sales date, and then we're going to put a function next to it, and that is called dt dot week. Okay, so date time week. All right, and we're going to do the same thing for the invoice file, the purchases invoice file. We're going to create another variable called week in that file. So we're going to use df inv, and we want the invoice date, and again we want to create the variable, we want to create the week number variable. All right, so we're going to run both of these, and what you'll see is another variable pop up in both of them. Okay, and we're going to run that. Okay, and we've got a new variable popped up. Right, I can open this up. I do want to open it. Probably should have just opened up the smaller one after I ran that, but whatever. We're going to open this up. There we go. And I can look at my new variable, and these are all the week numbers. Okay, so everything's got a number to it. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. All right, so it's going through, and everything's got a week. So now we can open up this data frame, and we can see week number attached to it. Okay, excellent. So now that we've got both of those things done, we're gonna take a look. We're going to create two series grouped by the week number. So we're going to pull out a series of data out of each of these particular data frames, and we're going to create a series that's going to have week and sales dollars out of the sales file, and week and freight out of the invoice file. Okay, and so I'm just going to create these two series, and then I'm ultimately going to bring them together. All right, so, or I don't even have to, I can just correlate them based on the two series. So we're going to do both. We're going to create two new variables, grouped sales, and we're going to use df group by, and in this case we want to group by week. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We'll call this grouped freight, grouped F. And we're going to to take df-inv, and we are going to group by week. All right, so those are the two grouped variables. Then we're going to take df summary sales, and that's going to be grouped S, and we're going to group sales dollars, and make sure you spell dollars right, and the aggregation function is going to be np sum. Right, and we're going to do df summary freight, and that's grouped F, and we're going to group freight, and we're going to aggregate using np sum. All right, so this is giving me np dot sum. Yeah, both of those seem to work, or they should work. I'll make sure have I read all these in? I thought I read all those in. So what is the syntax error here? Unidentified NP. Let's make sure we import that. That should work. All right, we're going to just put in, use the pandas function. Do it that way, okay? Either way works. All right, so let's run this grouping. I'm gonna do my grouping here. All right, so now I have a group S, right? Take a look at this. Oh, there's nothing in that. That's, so forget that. It's going to open it up, I hope. It's just giving me, that's just the variable. That's not what we want. There we go. Thank you very much. Don't care. Run group, create group F. Now we run the DF summaries. Right? And so I got a series DF summary S and grouped up, grouped F. That should work. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm doing it wrong, that's why. There we go. Now we can do this. Oh, no. Now we do this. There we go. And now I've got my series 53 data points, right? So I've got my freight summarized, and I've got my sales summarized. Awesome. So we've got, that's the next probable step that we have to do. The next thing we want to do is we're going to use some statistics to execute this, and we're going to use SciPy to do that. And we'll do that in our next video.